What is going on, YouTube? It is your boy Parker from The Everyday Guy. You're probably in shock because you don't get to see my ugly mug in many videos, and there's a good reason for it. But today I am super excited to bring a really cool hybrid planner system that has infinite possibilities to you. So the way the video is going to go is I'm going to do a little bit of work here at the desk. We're going to go top down. I'm going to show you the system that I've created, the way that I've done it. And then we're going to talk a little bit about, the manufacturer, the way he did it. Well, let's just back up a second. Have you ever heard of the Everbook? It was popular about 3 or 4 years ago, and it had a pretty good following. But recently, in the last, few months, it has kind of fizzled out. But man, I really think that this planner system could get going again because there's some really cool possibilities with this thing. So the way that it works is there's a whole bunch of modules inside. You can call them project folders, you can call them bundles, you can call them subjects, but it's a bunch of little folders. And I've done mine in colors. You can do yours any way you want, but it basically uses 8.5 by 11 printer paper. You fold it in half with a whole bunch of custom templates that are free on their website, or you can create your own, and you're not limited to anything. Like, you could throw these things away, you can make your own. I mean, we're going to talk about it here at the desk. And then we're going to go over in the workshop. I'm going to show you how to make this thing. But don't worry, if you're not a handy person, I'm going to show you where you can buy it retail. So you won't be left stranded after today's video. But when we're over in the workshop, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how to get a really professional looking job. We're going to come back, we're going to wrap up the video, we're going to talk about all the links that I provided for you down below in the description, and hopefully you're going to adopt this system for yourself, and we can see if we can get this thing going. I mean, it's got its own Reddit group. It's not very active, but man, there's a good following for this system. So let's do this. Why don't you go get yourself a drink and some Doritos? The sweet chili are super fire. I recommend those. And then let's come back here to the desk and I'll show you how I've set mine up, and then we'll go build one. So let's do the damn thing. Okay, so here we are at the desk, and I'm going to show you a quick breakdown of my life book and the way that I've created it. It'll kind of give you an idea of the system itself, and then we'll head over to the workshop and we'll build one. So essentially you have a piece of leather, and when you open it up, you can see it's got 2 leaflets that fold over, and once you open those up, you have modules or different books. So as you can see, I've got quite a few here. This one is a logbook or a personal journal. This one is my financials. This one is Blake templates, and we'll talk about that. And then I've just got an old planner page that, has my name and information on it. Over here, we've got Do More Good, which is from their website. It's essentially a to-do list. That's how I use it. Then you've got projects, gratitude, and I've got a little calendar here. But the cool thing about these folders is they're all individual. So like, you might be familiar with the plotter system where they use project folders, and then you have all your projects and you file them in here. Same thing. So like, you could do gratitude, prayer list, and take both of those bundles and put it into one more called spiritual. So you would have a spiritual folder, but inside you have subfolders for prayer list and gratitude. You'll see here that I've got a planner page in here. This is from William Hanna. I provided links down below, but it was an old disc-bound system that I had that I didn't use anymore, but I had a lot of pages, and so I just cut off the disc-bound section and placed them in here, and as you can see, they really fit nice. So this is essentially the system. Now, you're not limited to just these project folders. You can create your own. So what we did was we scanned one of these in, and these are all provided for you for free on the Evernote for everbookforever.com website, which the links are down below, so don't worry about remembering that. But all of these links are provided. But what we did was we scanned one into Canva, and then that gave us an editable version, and then we could change these. So the gratitude one isn't on their website, financials isn't on their website, the spiritual one isn't on their website, but you can import those into Canva and make them yourself. But here's a really cool tip. Like, I'm not a Canva guy. I have to ask my wife to do that for me. But here's a really cool thing that you can do. Get yourself some colored photo cardstock paper. It's just 8.5 by 11. Fold it in half and stick it in your typewriter. Type your title out on your typewriter. That'll give it a really cool vintage retro look. And I'm totally digging that vibe with the typewriter. I just don't happen to have a typewriter, but I think that would look really super cool with this system. So the pages that are provided for you, let's talk about those real quick, because these are what's available on the website. So you have a week at a glance kind of thing, front and back. And you know, you can get these off their website. They give you a checklist page, you know, it's on both sides. And it, you know, you can use it any way you want. Blank paper, gratitude journal, template, which is really kind of cool. The way I've got them done is you can lay them out and just kind of write your whole week on there. You got a daily checklist, but all of these are provided for you on the everbookforever.com website. All you got to do is print them. You can print them forever for free. No need to pay for anything there. As well as these covers. You can print those off of the website as well. So that essentially is the system. Now, I chose to use the colored cardstock paper. It is the Astro Brights brand. You can pick it up at Walmart or anywhere. I picked mine up at a junk store. I got the whole pack of like 7 or 8 different colors for like $2. But as you can see, the whole system comprises of those little project folders or bundles, and then you fold it over. I myself like to put a 5x8 legal pad in here because the minute I open it up, I start writing. And then if I want, I can peel these pages off and stick them in the appropriate folder. But it fits in here really super nice, and it gives some rigidity to the book itself. Now, there is an elastic that attaches here that will come over and snap. I'll show you that in the photos of the actual Everbook. However, I just made this. I had to order the elastic on Amazon, so it's supposed to be here tomorrow. I will put a finished picture of this at the end of this video, but this is essentially it. Very simple project to do. So let's do this. Let's head over to the workshop. I'm going to give you the measurements and give you some tips and tricks and show you how to make one. We'll come back to the desk, wrap it up. We'll talk about the links, and we'll go from there. So let's head over to the workshop. All right, so here we are in the workshop. Welcome to my workshop, everybody. Let's take this thing apart and let's get you some measurements so you can build it yourself. So we'll go ahead and take my little pad out. We will take out the modules. And what you're left with is just a pretty nice piece of leather. So you're going to need some measurements. So for this, we're going to use a ruler that is measured in eighths. And we're going to go ahead and measure this right at 8 5/8. And then we're going to go ahead and measure the length of it. It is right at 23 5/8. So you've got 23 5/8 by 8 5/8. And that is the dimensions of the Everbook, or Lifebook as I'm calling it. Now, you see these little slots here. That is for the elastic to go through. And when you have this closed, your elastic will be in the corner. And when you close this, you'll pull it down and it'll loop around this end. I don't have my elastic yet, but like I said, I will show it to you either from an internet photo or I will show you my finished product. Now on the internet, all of the elastics are black. I chose not to do that. I ordered some dark brown, so it's going to look really good. But let me show you how to cut those slots. Let's go over here to my little workstation and I'll show you how to make those slots an easy way and an alternate way. All right, here we are over at my little workstation. I'm going to show you how to cut the slots for the elastic in the back of your Lifebook. So the easiest way to go about it is to just buy yourself what's called a bag punch. You can see this is a 1-inch bag punch, and I like the 1-inch because the elastic that I bought is 3/4 inch, so it gives it a little bit of room to kind of move around up and down. So the way these things work is you just go ahead and put them where you want them. A little bit of tap there, and you have a perfect slot. Now, if you don't happen to have a bag punch or you don't want to invest the money in something like that, you can do it easily with just a hole punch. So what you would do is go ahead and draw yourself a 1-inch line. Then you take a hole punch. This one, you can get variable sizes and in tips here. And then just go to one or the other side of the line, whichever you choose. I'm going to go to the left here and just tap yourself in a hole, and then go to the bottom of the line, tap yourself in another hole. Then you come back to your straight edge and you just measure it up like that. And you will draw from hole to hole. Essentially, you can see here what it's doing. Then you'll take your straight edge and you'll go ahead and cut down, connect the dots, and then poke your piece out. Let's see here. You can cut that out, make that look a little bit better. But essentially, you've got the bag punch and then you've got the one that you made yourself. It's on the back of the planner, so nobody's ever going to see it. But this is the way that you can do it. Hope that helps. Now, while we're in the workshop, I want to show you how to cut the leather so you get it perfectly straight here and here. An easy way that I found to do this is with a framing square. Now, you may not have one, you may need to borrow it, but it is surely a way to give you a 90-degree corner. So you would put it right on your flat, you would just lay it out on your leather. Okay, so just lay this out on a big piece of leather, whatever size you buy. Lay it down, and then this gives you your straight edge. So you'll mark your measurements on either side. Go ahead and strike it, you're good to go. But this ensures that you're going to get perfectly straight. And then, of course, you will reverse this for the other side. That way you can stay on your line, and boom, you're good to go. I hope that tip helps. Okay, and one last little tip is for personalization. Now you can see here that what I've done is I took a wood burning set with the script tip on it, and I just wrote my name, Parker. People call me Park. So I just wrote that in there in my own handwriting. It makes it mine. If this thing's ever found by grandkids or great-grandkids or something, it is mine. And it has, that unique flair. It shows that it was handmade, and it's in Grandpa's writing or whoever finds this thing. But if that's not your style, you can always buy something like this from Tandy Leather. It's just little leather punch kit. You can do your initials, your name, whatever. But there's a couple other options for personalization. If you're fortunate enough to have a laser, you can always set that up on your laser machine and get a super impeccable job. So I hope that tip helps for personalization. Let's head on back to the desk and we'll kind of wrap this video up, and we'll talk about all the links that I provided for you down below. Well, there you go. We've talked about the system. We went over to the workshop. I showed you how to make it, gave you all the dimensions that you're going to need. And so let's talk about all the links that I'm going to put down in the description for you. and we'll touch on a few other things. So I've got some notes here so I don't get off track. The Everbook was created by a guy named Michael Wolfram. If you just search everbookforever.com, that's where you're going to get the templates. That's where you can order the product. It will route you over to Murdy Creative Company. They're the ones that he's partnered with to do the leather work. And that's where you can buy it retail. Now, keep in mind, they're going to be a little pricey. They want $129 just for the leather. And then if you want a cognac color or a burgundy leather, it's another $10 upcharge. And if you want it monogrammed, which they do by a laser, which looks pretty nice, that's another $10 upcharge. So you're in it for about $150, and then you've got shipping and all that. That's why I went ahead and made my own. So if you want to buy it retail, you can go to everbookforever.com and then just hit the link at the top called order. And then if you go to templates, that's where you can get all the folder templates and all the pages, your calendar, your notes, your checklists, all of that kind of stuff you can get from the template section. And those are perfectly free. If you have an A5 planner that you like to use, you can use those pages. You'll just have to cut about 1/4 to 1/2 inch off of the one side. So I use a disc-bound planner pages from William Hanna. I'll put William Hanna's link below. They're not very expensive, but they are UK based, so you're going to have to pay for shipping. If you're based in the UK, it'll work out fine for you. So just know that if you want to use A5 planner pages, you're going to have to do a little bit of trimming, but that's not really a big deal. As far as the project folders or bundles or subjects or whatever you want to call them, I really like the colored paper. It really helps me in my brain sort them out. So I know spiritual's purple. I know that green is financial. I know that, orange is my templates. And you can create all those for free. Just use the colored paper to help you sort it out. It also gives it a little bit of a flair, makes it look good. And then I really like the idea of just taking the colored 8.5 by 11 paper, folding it in half, sticking it in a typewriter, and naming it from a typewriter. That vintage retro vibe is just really cool, and you don't see it much anymore in 2025. So I really like that idea. Now, keep in mind, I made mine out of leather. If you're vegan, you can always use vegan leather. You could use canvas. You could use wax canvas. You can do anything you want to make this cover. You have the dimensions. You kind of know how simple it is to make a cover. And, you have infinite possibilities there. I paid about $37 for my piece of leather. I just got it from a local leather supplier here in my town. But keep in mind, you can do a Google search. You can go to craft stores, search up leather makers in your area, or you can go online and just buy leather. There is a subreddit for this group. It is under r/Everbook. Now, it hasn't been very active. The last entry was about 6 months ago, and it was basically, hey, man, is this group still alive? I love my Everbook. Hey, come on, let's get this thing going again. But there is a group for it. I've put my link for the elastic that I bought that I don't have yet from Amazon. The brand name of that is Monidor, Monidorr. It's a 3/4 inch or 0.75 elastic band. It's 6 yards for $8.99, and it is a double-sided twill woven elastic heavy stretch. All of that will be down in the description. You don't have to try to remember any of that. The cool thing to remember is all of these pages that go in here are just your standard 8.5 by 11 folded in half. So you can do anything you want with this thing. I like the flexibility of this planner because after you've written something down, you could throw it away. You don't have to keep it. But if you do want to archive it, it's super easy just to throw it in a A5 size planner and archive these pages. If you're going to a meeting and you don't want to carry your whole book, you could just grab your module or your project folder and go in, and then you've got your paper in there, and it's just really sleek and cool. I do like the idea that I showed you with putting an 8.5 by 5-inch, 5-inch by 8.5 little legal pad in there. That way, if I'm working or I get a phone call, I just open it up and boom, I start writing right away. And it does give some rigidity to the book itself. Now, I'm going to put some pictures that I got off of the Murdy Creative website just to show you what this system looks like with the elastic on there. Another tip I will show you is the elastic will come across here on the book, and then a lot of people are just taking their pin and they're putting it in there and just snapping it to that piece of elastic. I can't show you that because I don't have my elastic yet. I was so excited about making the project and making this video that I didn't wait until I had it fully assembled. But I'm going to show you some pictures. I'm sure this is going to get your creative juices flowing, and you're going to hop on YouTube and you're going to watch those videos. There is a guy on YouTube called I Write It Down, or I Wrote It Down. Has a lot of Everbook videos out there. And then the creator himself has some videos out there. So I wish you a lot of luck. I really hope you adopt this planner system. It really is unique. I love the project folders from the plotter. I just am not going to pay plotter prices. And I don't really like the disc bound, the 3-ring system, because you're limited to how much you can put in those 3 rings. With this, it's infinite. I mean, I can have 15 different subjects and have just a little tiny folder for each one, all in one place. And then as my needs change or my moods change, or I'm into some other fad, I can create a folder for that, a project folder for that, and just easily incorporate that in here. So, long video. I appreciate you watching until the end if you've made it this far, and I appreciate you. Thank you for following my small little channel. If you haven't followed yet, please like and subscribe. And if you have any planner friends that's just crazy about planner stuff like we are, please share this video with them. Not only helps the channel, but it will help a friend in need. That this may be just what they're looking for. Anyway, God bless you. I hope God's doing good things in your life. I appreciate you. Be kind to one another. And thanks for coming to the Everyday Guy channel. Take care.